Right now, the owners of a local business look to reopen their doors with help from the community and its customers.
Plus, a woman charged for hitting and killing a bicyclist last year in Madison appears in court for a plea hearing.
And a plea deal has been reached in the federal investigation into the president's son, Hunter Biden. That's all coming up right now at 10. With Main streets revitalized and mask mandates lifted, many are eager to put the pandemic behind them.
Well, most local businesses have bounced back post-COVID, some even better than before, but there's still many struggling. Tahlil Mohideen joins us to share more on where help is needed the most.
Brady and Charlotte, the folks at Dane Buy Local say they receive about 1 to 2 calls a week from small business owners still struggling to keep their door opens. Many of those calls come from former grant recipients running out of options as pandemic relief comes to an end. It's the reason one business in Verona is turning to the community for help.
It was kind of one of her ideas, and I jumped on board and left the corporate world and been doing it for 15 years.
It's a plea for help the owners of Rocket Bicycle Shop and Cafe never thought they would have to make.
Came to a point that we just couldn't, well, we need to eat and we need a house over our head, and we had to just stop.
Since starting up in 2009, for Jessica Laufenberg and her partner Peter Oyen, business had been going great.
So we take the measurements from the client, determine the frame size.
And when they decided to expand into a bigger location, adding a cafe and event space, they were close to getting what they'd spent years building towards.
We've had wedding receptions, we've had tons of different events, so it's starting to become a place where people could celebrate.
For 10 months, their dream was realized.
And then the world happened.
The COVID-19 pandemic changed world, shut them down, brought supply chain issues, threatening to pull them under time and again as they struggled to keep the business afloat.
It just became really, really tough.
They got help from grants, paid employees with their savings, and maxed out their credit. And when the pandemic finally came to an end and business started picking up, by then it was too late. Their doors were shut in January.
When you've got a couple years of all that debt piling on and you can't catch up.
So now they're looking to their community for help paying off that debt and getting back on their feet.
We are at our last chance.
Hoping their closure isn't permanent. Shop owners say if they don't raise enough capital to relaunch their business, they'll refund all donations because they want the money to be used only for providing community space. So far, their GoFundMe has raised about $20K. They need $150.
Thank you, Tahlil. More money is headed to Wisconsin cities and towns. This after Governor Evers signed the bipartisan shared revenue bill. The long-debated compromise between Democrats and Republicans will help fund municipalities. And while it'll help communities around the state, the bill helps out Milwaukee in particular, which was facing bankruptcy.
Allow you the opportunity to give you the resources necessary to do those things for your communities that you deserve to have done. For the city of Milwaukee, we were on the verge of insolvency.
Other communities are expecting to see at least a 20% increase to their part of state aid. Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway applauded the money, but says it doesn't go far enough, as it's less than $10 for every resident.
UW Systems President Jay Rothman says they may have to close campuses and raise tuition if the legislature's Finance Committee follows through with proposed budget cuts. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos has called on the committee to cut $32 million from the system over the next 2 fiscal years. He says the amount is equal to what the system spends on diversity and equity offices every 2 years. The committee is expected to vote on including the cut in the biennial state budget Thursday. Meanwhile, Governor Evers has vowed to veto the budget if it includes the UW cuts.
Badger Bus is laying off up to 200 workers after losing its transportation contract with the Madison Metropolitan School District. The company's contract came to an end after the 2022-23 school year. By law, other companies were allowed to bid on the contract. Ultimately, the district opted to move forward with First Student, which gave the lowest bid. The Madison School District cited staffing problems and student safety issues as factors in the contract negotiations. The layoffs will officially take effect on August 18th. Let's go outside to the weather patio where Julian Seawright has a look at our first forecast. Julian?
Well, it's felt like late summer already over the last couple of days. It's been dry, it's been sunny, temperatures into the upper 80s. Well, it's going to be like that even heading into tomorrow where summer truly begins. Our summer solstice will start tomorrow at 9:58 a.m. And folks, 88 degrees sounds like pool weather to me. I hope you can enjoy it, but also stay cool as it is still very warm for us here in southern Wisconsin, and especially for Madison. Air quality advisories due to ozone stay in effect for the next hour until 11 p.m. for most of southern Wisconsin. And we are going to be anticipating to see just a little bit of haze in our skies throughout tomorrow, but we are still not looking for that thick layer that we've had over the last couple of days, which is good news that there is some improvement. Tonight's temperatures will be 60 degrees. We're looking at 61 for Janesville and about 63 for Platteville. But nevertheless, we're all looking very comfortable for tonight. And heading into tomorrow to start the morning, it's not going to feel too bad. But once we get to the afternoon, expect that warmth and that heat to really kick in for us here in Madison, especially once we get into the later parts of our afternoon. So the best time to walk the dog or be outside is definitely going to be either early in the morning or late into our evening hours. But we do have some potential relief, and I'm not just talking about cooler temperatures, but some potential rain finally in our forecast. We'll be talking about what we're going to see or what we're expecting heading into our weekend in a few moments. Until then, back to you.
A Sun Prairie woman who officials say admitted to hitting and killing a bicyclist on Madison's west side last year pleaded guilty to a felony charge today. Okema Jones pleaded guilty to homicide by negligent operation of a vehicle. She also pleaded guilty to a charge of operating while intoxicated. A sentencing hearing has been set for October 13th.
In Portage, firefighters say smoking materials are to blame for a house and garage fire today. It happened on part of East Howard Street just after noon. A detached garage was on fire and the rear side of the home was affected. The fire in the garage was extinguished, but not before the building was heavily damaged. In New York, 4 people were killed after a fire that started in a repair shop early this morning quickly spread to an apartment building. Firefighters say the fire was caused by an e-bike lithium battery. The video shows how quickly a lithium battery can burst into flames, and many times the fire starts when the battery is charging.
Are there precautions people should be taking?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd say first and foremost, follow the manufacturer's instructions. Every one of these products is a little bit unique.
Experts say only use batteries and chargers recommended by the manufacturer and certified by a laboratory. It's also important to be present when charging and never charge while you're sleeping.
Police in Milwaukee say they arrested a second person in connection with the shooting in which 6 people, including the shooters, were wounded. It happened right after a Juneteenth celebration wrapped up. The 2 defendants are males, ages 17 and 19. The other 4 people who were wounded are girls or women ranging in age from 14 to 18 years old. Investigators believe the shooting stemmed from a fight between several young women. All 6 of the people who were shot are expected to survive. The Dane County Sheriff's Office is sharing photos of 2 suspects who they say broke into a garage in the town of Middleton early Saturday. The suspects are believed to be tied to multiple car break-ins in the area. Police say the suspects used a garage door opener that was left in the vehicle to enter a garage on part of Silver Bell Lane. The 2 tried to enter the home, but the homeowner stopped them. Investigators say the suspects were traveling in a stolen 2023 Hyundai Elantra. Anyone with information on the suspects should contact the Dane County Sheriff's Office.
To some national headlines tonight, where President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, has agreed to a plea deal with the Department of Justice. Hunter Biden is pleading guilty to 2 misdemeanor tax charges, and he will admit to illegally possessing a gun while being a drug user. Hunter Biden is expected to receive probation for the tax charges. He'll have the gun charge removed after 2 years if he completes a diversion program. Republicans, who strongly criticize the recent indictment of former President Trump, are saying this shows the Department of Justice is biased.
If you were the president's leading political opponent, the DOJ tries to literally put you in jail and give you prison time. If you are the president's son, you get a sweetheart deal.
U.S. Attorney David Weiss, who was first appointed by former President Trump, defended the sentencing recommendation in a statement saying Actual sentences for federal crimes are typically less than the maximum penalties. House Republicans say they will continue to investigate Hunter Biden's business dealings as part of a broader investigation into President Biden.
The date for the criminal trial of former President Donald Trump is set. The trial into Trump's alleged mishandling of classified documents is set to begin in mid-August. The dates could be pushed back because of the case's complexities and possible issues related to classified information. Proceedings will take place in Fort Pierce, Florida. Trump is charged with 37 counts of mishandling top secret documents after he left office and for obstructing the investigation into the documents.
In Pennsylvania, a portion of a Philadelphia interstate damaged earlier this month will reopen this weekend. That's according to the state's governor. 9 days ago, a key portion of I-95 collapsed after a massive tanker fire underneath it. The governor didn't give a specific date, and crews have been working around the clock to repair the I-95 overpass after it collapsed on June 11th.
After 47 years of service to his community, Janesville Police Chief David Moore says he will retire this fall. Chief Moore, who made the announcement this morning, has served in that role for 15 years. He says his department is well positioned for his departure and cites progress with hiring efforts, internal staff advancement, and historic lows in crime as proof. But he admits announcing his retirement is something he only gets to do once, so making sure it was the right time was essential.
It's an interesting day. I had contemplated this for quite some time, but determined that it is really the right time to move on to retirement.
Chief Moore says he hopes his time leading Janesville Police will be remembered as a period when the department moved forward together. Coming up on News 3 Now at 10, how long is this hot and dry weather going to last? Julian returns with a complete look at the forecast.
But first, the latest on the search and rescue mission for a submersible that disappeared on its way to see the Titanic.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10, winner of the Best Evening Newscast by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association.
This may look like an action-adventure movie, but it's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on select Rogue trims.
These epic offers won't last forever.
Attention, Wisconsin veterans.
I'm Tony Evers, the governor of Wisconsin. If you are a veteran struggling to pay for rent, utilities, or other life-sustaining services, I want you to know that the Veterans Rental Assistance Program is here to help. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin, with benefit approvals being issued to veterans in just days, not months. You have already made a most noble sacrifice. You shouldn't have to continue doing so. We are here to support you. With pride in the way, it's never easy to ask for assistance, but rest assured we are here to help. The VRAP team is standing by to help. So call 833-WISC-VRAP or visit vrapwi.com. You've always been there for us. We want you to know that we're here for you. On behalf of the state of Wisconsin, thank you.
To everyone who appreciates a handcrafted meal, are you ready for a taste of Wisconsin?
Butterburger's cooked fresh, just the way you like.
The way you love.
Definitely love.
And our thick and creamy frozen custard, we make it for you all throughout the day. All day.
All day, every day. Put it in the extra work and not cutting corners. Takes a little longer.
But it's how we've always done it at Culver's. Because making your meal with care shows how much we care.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
This may look like an action-adventure movie, but it's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on select Rogue trims.
These epic offers won't last forever.
Samuel L. Jackson is on the Jennifer Hudson Show.
It's not often I get to come to shows I actually watch.
His Snakes on the Plane stories are so good.
I said, can I be in it? And he's like, you want to be in it? Oh, yeah!
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
The search for a missing tour sub on a mission to view the wreckage of the Titanic is expanding, with resources coming from the U.S., Canada, even France.
But every hour that passes is one less hour the 5 people on board could have oxygen, which is just one of the daunting challenges searchers face. Emily Schmidt has a closer look at what's unfolding in the freezing deep and dark Atlantic waters.
The Coast Guard says 5 people were on board the sub as it dropped below the surface of the ocean Sunday, headed for the wreckage of the Titanic, including 1 pilot and 4 mission specialists.
2 days from now, it may be too late.
When the submersible went underwater, it's estimated there were 96 hours worth of oxygen. By Tuesday afternoon,
we know at this point we're approximately about 41 hours.
The Coast Guard says it has searched an area the size of Connecticut and is adding remotely operated vehicles to look below the surface. Ships and planes are ready to move from St. John's, Newfoundland, as the Pentagon takes action too.
So by the end of today, we would have committed 3 C-130s to conducting search and rescue flights.
Officials say the scale of the effort shows success is possible, yet details about a search turning to rescue are few. No rescue has ever happened that deep.
If we get to that point, those experts will be looking at what the next course of action is.
The last vessel communication was Sunday. A tourist who says he took 4 ocean gate dives, including one to Titanic, says communication failed briefly every time.
I don't blame the submarine as much as I blame deep water.
A friend of one of the missing says the good news is there hasn't been bad news.
We haven't seen wreckage floating. We haven't heard that explosion underwater in the sonar.
Yet all know the time for any hope is shrinking by the minute. Emily Schmidt, News 3 Now.
Let's now go back to Julian for a complete look at the forecast, where temperatures are still heating up this week.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a scorcher by the time we get to Saturday. So, of course, we've been harping on this. Just make sure you find multiple ways to stay cool and also to stay hydrated. But getting into our weather headlines, just how warm or hot are things going to get for us? Well, we could be seeing the 90s by the time we get to Saturday, but near 90s is what we're going to be expecting over the next couple of days, actually throughout the rest of our work week. We are expecting some dry conditions until we get to Saturday night. Then we're going to start to see the rain and storm chances to really ramp up for us from Saturday nights going into our Sunday, and even potentially going into our Monday. So starting things off for us, we still have that air quality advisory in effect until 11 p.m. for southern Wisconsin, areas to the northern parts of Wisconsin as well, and for Minnesota. But taking a look at our 10 days of high temperatures, you can see how we're just trending well above seasonable. Around this time of year, we're typically around 80 degrees for Madison. Getting into the last week of June, we're typically around 82 degrees. Well, we're not going to be seeing the real drop or cooling of those temperatures until we get into about Monday of next week, after we see this potential system make its way up. So talking about that potential system, well, it's going to be making its way coming in from the west and over towards the northern parts of the upper Midwest. That's going to be breaking this blocking pattern that's been really just wreaking havoc from dry to warm to even hot weather throughout much of the upper Midwest, which has really put a damper on any kind of farmers over the last couple of weeks. But we might see a little bit of relief heading into this weekend. Overnight Saturday into about Sunday, we're expecting to see a system that is going to be that low, which climbs its way into the upper Midwest, that will be bringing finally some widespread rain into our Sunday morning. May see a periodic break, a bit more widespread again once we get into our Sunday evening, another break at Sunday nights, but then another resurgence going into our Monday, and even potentially for our Monday nights. Now, how much rain we're expecting? Not as much for the southern parts of Wisconsin, because it is going to be tracking so far north. But if it does start to inch a bit further south, we could start to see those shifts in precipitation that we could see accumulate over the course of those 3 or 2 days in itself. But again, it's really just how it's going to be tracking for us as of right now. It's one thing we're going to be monitoring over the next several days, just to see exactly how much rain we're going to be expecting, or if we will see any rain at all, because that blocking pattern has been so stubborn over the last couple of days. Now, nevertheless, before we get there, again, the theme for us here in Madison and for southern Wisconsin is that it's been sunny and it's been very warm, and it's going to be just like that heading into our Wednesday. Starting off for the summer solstice, we're going to see temperatures into the middle 60s as we're heading out the door. And then once we get around the lunchtime hour, lower 80s. It's going to be into the upper to middle 80s throughout the course of our day. Some areas could even see around 90 degrees, but nevertheless, it is still going to be a very warm, hot, and of course, dry day for us here in southern Wisconsin. And I'll take a look at our 10-day forecast here of how things are going to be panning out for us. Again, we're going to be climbing to our hottest day that we've seen over the last few days, which will be Saturday, around 93 degrees. Then we're going to start to cool down just a bit heading into our Sunday and for our Monday of next week as we watch for the potential of seeing showers or thunderstorms that will bring in that much-needed rain.
Make Music Madison returns tomorrow, the first day of summer and the longest day of the year. For the 11th year in a row, the city of Madison will become a stage with hundreds of free live performances throughout the day. Coffee shops, public libraries, front porches, and more will be jamming with all kinds of music that will make you want to dance. There will also be some special events at the Children's Museum downtown.
Well, Zach is off tonight, so it's Brady reads the sports. The Milwaukee Brewers look to regather themselves against Arizona after the Diamondbacks took Game 1 of the series 9-1 last night. And for a while, Arizona looked in control of the game 2 through 6 innings. But then something clicked for the crew, who scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning to take the 2-run lead. The Brewers would then hold on to even up the series with a 7-5 win. The series finale is tomorrow at 1:10. There we go. Sports.
Good job.
Thank you. Well, after the break, how a new construction project is giving visitors in Rome a new way to walk among archaeological treasures.
Plus, a Florida deputy rushes to save a man during severe weather. The dramatic video all caught on camera next.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
We're busy. I get it. So Stanton Optical works with your schedule. Buy online, pick up in store same day, and get a free fitting. I mean, look at my to-do list. Same-day eye exam, same-day glasses. 2 pairs plus eye exam for only $79.
Brothers Maine enjoys 4th of July festivities with family, friends, and fabulous kitchen and laundry deals. Our fireworks of savings on GE appliances and free delivery will make you ooh and ah. Feel like family at Brothers Maine.
Announcing Madison Magazine's Best of Madison Readers Poll for 2023. Vote for the Best of Madison online today, including Roth Cheese for Best Cheese Producer. Vote for Roth Cheese and all your favorites on MadisonMagazine.com.
Imagine this. It's 1968, and the mayor of Milwaukee says nope to Summerfest. How many bands would you have never seen? And how many lakeside selfies just wouldn't exist? You'd never have met your new best friend while singing along to every song. Or know the feeling of hitting all 12 stages before the headliner. Thankfully, 55 years ago, Summerfest was a yes. And every year since has been one to remember. Don't miss Milwaukee Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance.
I had a lot of bad days with gout, but that one took the wedding cake. Even with medicine, my uric acid was still too high to stop painful gout buildup. Then a gout specialist told me about Cristexa.
Cristexa is a prescription medicine for adults with gout whose symptoms are not controlled by other gout medicines.
I learned Cristexa quickly starts working to break down gout buildup.
Cristexa is an infused medicine. Serious life-threatening allergic reactions can occur while taking Cristexa. Tell your doctor right away if you have symptoms such as shortness of breath, trouble breathing, dizziness, itching, or swelling of the throat or tongue. Cristexa is not recommended if you have high levels of uric acid without a history of gout. Do not take Cristexa if you have a rare disorder called G6PD deficiency or favism. Before receiving Cristexa, tell your doctor if you have a history of heart problems and all the medicines you take. Cristexa may cause gout flare-ups, allergic reactions, nausea, bruising, sore throat, constipation, chest pain, and vomiting.
I received Cristexa for about 6 months. Now I'm in control, not gout.
Find a doctor who specializes in gout at goutdocnow.com.
Get over 50% off on this sofa chaise right now at the 4th of July blowout at Slumberland Furniture. Everything's on sale. Incredible deals. up to 60% off lists throughout the store, and up to 70% off on clearance items. What a sale. The 4th of July blowout at Slumberland Furniture.
Welcome to Too Good to Guess. Can you guess how much 2 pairs of progressives, a free eye exam, and anti-glare lens upgrade will cost at Stanton Optical? Only $135? Wow, a deal so good, every customer wins. Book your eye exam at Stanton Optical today.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Severe weather has been hammering the South, leading to a number of water rescues, including one that was caught on body camera video out of Pensacola, Florida.
The video shows an officer helping a man who was sucked down a drainage pipe, only to find himself also pulled in. Christian Benavides reports.
I'll be out with several disabled vehicles here in front of Sherman-Williams.
The police body camera footage from Escambia County Deputy William Hollingsworth starts out fairly routine. It soon becomes clear, though, it's anything but.
David! David! Can you believe what just happened to us?
What happened to them took place last Friday in Pensacola, Florida, as Deputy Hollingsworth goes to help a man trapped in floodwaters. The man, only identified as David, gets sunk down a drainage pipe. When the deputy goes after him, he gets pulled down as well. Chip Simmons is the sheriff of Escambia County.
What went through my mind was he had no idea he was going to step off into a ditch, and he certainly had no idea that that ditch would have the suction that it had to pull him not just down, but under these 5 lanes of highway.
Oh, Jesus!
The video goes dark the moment the deputy is pulled in. Both men were submerged for 30 seconds under the road, then spit out on the other side, about 100 feet away.
What does this say about the risk that deputies are putting themselves in every day? It's just an example of the dangerous work that men and women in law enforcement throughout our country go through. He could have easily died.
I'm glad you did. Thank you. When I came out, you were right behind me.
David thanked the deputy for being there. Both men.
Just breathe. Just breathe, bro. Oh, my God. Oh, thank you, Jesus.
Now lucky to be alive. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
David told a local reporter in Pensacola he had just gotten off of a shift at Publix supermarket when this happened. Police say both men are physically doing okay.
Meanwhile, in Rome, there is a new way to see a very ancient attraction. This brand new walkway takes visitors in Rome's Largo Argentina for the very first time. The ancient square was the site of 4 temples and believed to be the spot where Julius Caesar was stabbed to death. Previous viewing of the sunken site could only be done at street level. Now tourists can get close to the frescoes, statues, and artifacts in 2 exhibition areas. Some of the stones on the site are nearly 2,000 years old. Construction of the walkway took 2 years to complete. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Our phones keep us constantly connected.
Please switch to airplane mode.
But what if they helped us actually connect?
What would I give?
Introducing US Mode. Set your phone for human connection at US Cellular.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Keep your home's exterior protected with Cedar Creek vinyl siding. This low-maintenance siding withstands the elements and comes in 16 colors. Ready to install. Just $4.99 a piece after rebate. Update your garage door opener with Chamberlain. This chain drive garage door opener comes with built-in Wi-Fi, allowing you to control and monitor your garage door from anywhere. Now, just $129.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Lean back and enjoy the summer savings at the Century House. Right now, get a $100 instant rebate for every $1,000 you spend on any qualifying stressless seating. The more you spend, the more you can save instantly. So furnish an entire room with the most comfortable seating in the world and watch the savings add up. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Camp for less at Camping World in DeForest. We have hundreds of RVs to choose from with quality pre-owned RVs starting at $99.99 and new RVs starting at just $134 a month. Plus, every RV purchase comes with a Good Sam Elite membership and access to our nationwide service network. We guarantee you'll get the best deal or give you $1,000. Stock up on everything you need for the RV and campsite with our huge selection of RV accessories. Looking to sell your RV? We pay the most. Click, call, or come in to Camping World in DeForest today.
This is how legends are.
2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 LT TurboMax pickups, or current Chevy owners get a $5,750 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Right now at US Cellular, you can get a new phone without having to trade in your old one.
Trade you my PB&J for that phone.
No, kid, you don't have to trade. See? $1,200 off any phone at US Cellular. No trade-in needed.
Boom. Chocolate milk.
I'll take the chocolate milk.
US Cellular, built for us.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Mallards Baseball, Friday night. Come for the game, stay for the fireworks.
Finally tonight, deputies up in Barron County going above and beyond the call of duty when they were called to a residence in Chautauqua the other night for a report of a giant snake. A real giant snake.
Yep.
The scaly serpent had escaped its residence and was hanging out on the roof. Deputies were able to use some tools and contain the reptile. In a Facebook post, the Sheriff's Department said, "We won't judge people's choice of pets, but we're pretty sure most people live in northwestern Wisconsin to avoid these jungle monsters."
If I saw that, I would scream in a pitch so high that only dogs could hear it.
Honestly, I would freak out.
Yeah.
That would give me nightmares, honestly. I don't like snakes, and seeing one that big would, no, absolutely.
Yeah,
No judgment to anyone else.
No. Somebody's pet. I prefer cats.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, yeah, I prefer dogs or like guinea pigs, but no, we're not doing reptiles.
I'll stick with my plant.
Low maintenance, we like those. Take a look at our 10-day forecast, folks. It is going to get warm, hot, and hotter before it gets any kind of better. We are looking for potential relief, though, once we get into this weekend. The system to bring some showers, thunderstorms, and a little cooler weather as we drop it to the lower 80s. But at least, hey, summer is finally here. It's coming tomorrow.
Thanks, everyone.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.